You asked, I'll try to deliver. Keep the suggestions coming. I love when my suggestions and my passions intersect. My name is Josh White, and 3 years later, as requested, I'm going to break down Selina Kyle's motorcycle from Matt Reeves' The Batman with the same level of detail I did for my Batmobile breakdown, so stick around. Since the turn of the century, every film appearance of the Catwoman has included a leather suit on a motorcycle, probably most prominently Anne Hathaway borrowing the Batcycle in The Dark Knight Rises. But the 2004 Catwoman movie also included a pair of 2002 Ducati Monster S4s as well. Ducati had planned on developing the specific design from the Catwoman movie into its own production model, but the movie flopped and those internal plans at Ducati were scrapped. And even if we were to include the animated work through the mini TV series or direct-to-TV interpretations, Warner Bros., Warner Media, WBD have set the precedent for her characteristic stylistic shift, which we see in The Batman. She goes from a diamonds and pearls cat burglar to a better-equipped biker who is actively involved in the development of her kit and gear. Gone is the mystery of how she gets to and gets away from her heists. Reduced are the scenes of the cat leaping out of buildings, landing on her paws, and walking away. She's been given a greater skill set, more mechanically and technologically exemplified in the Batman's animated TV show episode entitled The Bat and the Cat. She's seen with the ability to hack and disarm Batman's utility belt. Further, going into the video games, Lego Batman 2, Injustice 2, the Telltale series.
I trust you told him about your motorcycle accident?
DC Comics has been shifting Catwoman's character across all moving media formats to include her Catcycle. This shift is so thoroughly developed that by the time the Lego Batman movie came out, Lego developed a motorcycle and product animation tie-in even though the Catcycle doesn't appear in the movie. In other words, it's implicitly a part of her character now, even if it's not given a spotlight. I'm sure there are a number of other interpretations that I'm leaving out. Leave a comment of what I'm forgetting. But while Catwoman didn't start out as a motorbike riding feline, she's morphed into the image pretty easily over the past 2 decades. It's an obvious extension to her suit and the nimbleness a motorcycle provides in the crime-ridden streets of Gotham. Further developing the kit and gear, we catch a brief glimpse into her closet and garage in the movie, but we get further explanation in a behind-the-scenes look which details how Selina Kyle has developed a whip that also doubles as a bike lock. The closet continues to show us a wall of climbing gear and disguises before, in movie, introducing the garage and our first look at a bespoke Catcycle for the first time. This character isn't limited to being merely a biker, but a wrencher as well. Similar to the Batman piecing his bat arsenal together throughout his first 2 years of crime fighting, Selina Kyle is putting together her own inventory of cat burglar gear. The Batman universe is built upon the concept of self-made people. Rarely are these characters, even the villains, endowed with immense power. Aside from Bruce's financial endowment, they exist in a gallery of tinkerers and makers. So it's not even a leap when I say that this, a Catwoman who fashions her own wardrobe, armory, and garage, is accurate to the character. In the garage, before she peels out riding the current version of the Catcycle, we can see the front forks and front forks only of what looks at first glance to be a Yamaha TZ750, meaning she had a starting point in her development of the Catcycle. In my video detailing the Batman's rides, I got some pretty great feedback helping me identify his motorcycles. So while I'm not 100% positive on the glimpse identification of the stationary bike, I think it's still a fair jumping off point. In that previous video, I said that Catwoman's bike was a pretty easily identifiable BMW with a stretched conjecture of an R18 base. I think it was right of some people to call me out in the comments. It does still obviously have the look of a BMW motorcycle, with various modifications, but what is the true base? Some on the internet have classified it as a 2021 BMW R9T Highway Fighter. They're much better than me. BMW confirmed through a tweet saying you could see the R9T take action in cinemas when the movie released. The Highway Fighter name comes from the online publication Return of the Cafe Racers, which exclusively reported February 28th of 2022 that it was built by motorcycle artist Keiichiro Kurosu, who christened the name through his chopper business named Cherry's Company. Absolutely right, the hard part is done. Let's dive a little deeper. Metzeler ME888 Marathon Ultra tires sit on the front and rear rims using the behind-the-scenes footage and some close-up pictures from Jason Kilar, then CEO of Warner Media. Tire specs are as follows, with the front being a 23/7 70/120 and the rear being a 24/8 55/180. Brembo Serie Oro brake discs, sit on the front wheel clamped by Brembo monoblock M32B radial calipers. The Brembo braking system, supplemented by the stock front master cylinder, is found on urban GS packages. The Brembo rear master cylinder is equally of stock OEM part matching. So maybe not super impressive detective work if you work with the R9T frequently, but it was a lot of fun for me to learn about. So while maybe not totally bespoke, the Catcycle still allows Selina Kyle to flex some impressive creativity and innovative muscles. Encouraging students' creativity and innovation in problem solving and optimizing is what I'm all about as a teacher, so A+ work to Selina Kyle. I've never done two videos for the same movie, one detailing one character and another for a different character, but James Chinland, the production designer, and Matt Reeves laid out a beautifully designed world rich with information and context. Their work deserves commendation. Gotham's city architecture, littered during the night by neon glow and a smoky haze, is disrupted more by the DA's Lincoln Aviator than it is by a slightly camouflaged BMW ridden by a grunge biker woman. BMW's motorcycle lineup has made its way into environments of varying background, but there's a pretty cool bit of connective superhero tissue. Natasha Romanoff rides one in her first and last standalone movie. So does the BMW R19 Highway Fighter work as a pair to Selina Kyle's nocturnal activity? I'd say it does. There are likely other excellent candidates for motorcycle frames that could be customized to better suit her needs, but this to me illustrates the difference between Selina and Bruce. Bruce builds from the ground up. Selina, while experimental, doesn't have the luxury of a complete frame-off rebuild. She has to build from the top down, starting with a model that she knows can perform and then modifying from there. At the end of this story, she rides off and away from Gotham. She's loosely referenced in The Penguin, but she's gone. So we'll get the chance to see how two closely related characters continue adapting and changing under different environments. I'm sure there will be a second Batmobile iteration, not including the one that will come from the DCU. With a Batcycle in the first movie, we'll likewise have the opportunity to see a different version in the sequel, but it wouldn't be that far off of a guess to assume a different Catcycle would arrive with a character too, if or when Catwoman returns to the screen. How does Batman change his car or his motorcycle to better suit the streets of Gotham? It has to be easier to drive. Evolution is necessary. By that same token, how does Catwoman change her vehicle from City Sprinter to Nomad? I would challenge James Chinland and Matt Reeves to continue thinking about this difference in developmental mindset. Ground up versus top down. Resist the temptation for the Bat and the Catcycle to be designed by the same firm. They shouldn't look like they were built out of the same garage. You did the right thing the first time. That right thing being for the Catcycle to be designed by Keiichiro Kurosu's team, and for the Batcycle to be designed by Ash Thorp's team. But that difference should be even more exaggerated the longer Selina and Bruce are apart. Their characters should change independently. So too should their vehicles. That separation should deepen before the inevitable return. We don't have a concrete timeline of Selina Kyle's activity. Seemingly, her work in the underground must be relatively recent if Bruce doesn't yet have her on his radar. So, working within that timeline a theoretical year, does her garage fit the needs of the cat burglar? Her bike isn't so intensely modified that it would stand apart from the nightlife of Gotham streets. Developing her own kit? Really, an activity all major players are doing in this movie is commendable. Not the Riddler. Forget I said that. Anyways, I can't wait to see how Selina Kyle further sinks her teeth into the Catwoman persona, and how that character will change as she spends time away from Gotham. What are your expectations for her return? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.